Mercedes just dropped a car basically in the middle of the night for US time. This is like deja vu for me. McLaren just did this last week with the new 7088 HS, so here I am doing another late night video about the new Mercedes Maybach GLS 680. Now, if you don't know what the Maybach GLS is, it's basically Mercedes' answer to a Bentley Bentayga, kind of a Rolls Royce calling in. It's essentially the ultra luxury version, the nicest SUV that they make. It's their GLS SUV on luxury steroids, basically. If you're not already subscribed to the channel for me, please subscribe for me. Smash that like button on the video so this can get out there to more people. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the new GLS and if you like what Mercedes has been doing recently in general. Now let's start looking at the GLS. Okay, so first feature they point out is that it has a new illuminated Maybach lettering within the grille, and buyers can also get a now light up Mercedes-Benz 3-pointed star hood ornament. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be ordering that one. You can get rose gold details around the headlights, and there's a new tailgate design that features even more of Mercedes like 3-pointed star designs around the taillights and everything. There's new 22 and 23-inch wheels on offer. The 23s, you can get like the Maybach logo that always stays upright while the wheels turn, you know, kind of like a Rolls Royce. I'm sure that's no coincidence that they do that now. There's new two-tone finishes available, but I'm pretty sure you can spec a Maybach in any colors you want as long as you're willing to pay for it. That Mercedes manufacturer program is pretty adaptable for what you want, pretty much whatever you want if you want to pay. So new colors, I'm sure, but you can kind of get whatever you want anyways. I believe I read that they're getting rid of the third row completely on this car to make more room for the backseat passengers, which is an interesting move by Mercedes. I think it's a good idea because at this level, do people really need the third row? Maybe though. I mean, I have seen like plenty of, you know, moms driving around their Maybach GLSs. You'd think they have little kids that might need to go in a third row. So I don't know, but they did that. So now more rear seat room. Oh, this is huge. They developed a calf massager for the back seats, literally a vibrating thing in the calf area to like vibrate your calves while you're being driven around in your Maybach GLS. That's a feature. There's new massage function on the front seats as well to make a new pattern that apparently works better. They're saying that the car has a new 603 horsepower V8 engine, but I believe this is probably the same V8 we just saw come out a couple weeks ago, like in the GLS 63. It's called the M177 Evo engine. It's compliant with all the rules going forward, and we'll see this V8 in basically everything Mercedes for the next like 5 years, if I had to guess, at least. Probably longer than that, but before another change comes to it, maybe we'll be seeing this engine a lot. I believe it's the same engine, just tuned for torque instead of horsepower, because they can get more horsepower out of it. The car also features optimized air suspension, more color options, expected to go on sale towards the end of the year with a starting price of $183,000. Looks-wise, it looks very just that new facelifted GLS 63 we saw a couple weeks ago to me with a Maybach grille on it. I mean, the looks of the outside of the car really don't look that different. It's you know, not to discount it in any way, but that's kind of what it looks like. It's got the Maybach grille and it's got the monoblock wheels, you know, classic Maybach wheels. Everything else looks just like the other GLS that just came out. Obviously, the two-tone paint and the Maybach illuminated grille will set it apart a bit. Whether you like that or not is up to you. It does have the nice Maybach running boards, which you can only get on the GLS 680, so that is a nice touch to have. The back of the car has that exhaust that has like the line through the middle of it. Classic Maybach GLS. It's been like that since it came out probably 6 years ago now. So exterior, largely unchanged. Really just, it's the facelifted GLS in general, I would say. Not a bad thing. I think it's a good looking car, but it is basically just the facelifted GLS. Now the inside gets that same screen that was also just fitted in the GLS 63, but it still has the Maybach steering wheel from before. They haven't swapped out the wheel to that new wheel that they've been putting in everything. Looks like you still have physical buttons for your climate controls in this car, which I do appreciate them sticking with, especially going into 2027. Get your standard Mercedes controls for the seats on the doors. The seats look largely unchanged. The back seats do look like they have a lot more room. I mean, that reclining area looks great. The Maybach pillows are sweet. I love Maybach pillows. I will say those are very nice. Champagne flutes in the back with an optional refrigerator. Can't beat that, I guess. Wireless charger for you. Maybach engraved on the pedals. That is pretty cool. While the brown leather interior actually shows you a little more depth to the cabin. That's nice. I think the all-white looked nicer, but this brown definitely has like a high-end feel to it, kind of like a sofa from a luxury furniture store or something like that. So the interior is a little nicer, a little roomier. The exterior is basically just the facelifted GLS 63. The Maybach GLS really is a pretty good car all around. They kind of get a bad rap because everyone that gets one just decides to bounce the thing everywhere. And not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but it takes away some of like the seriousness of what the Maybach is meant to be. It is a very luxurious SUV meant to compete with the likes of Bentley Bentayga. Now, I've been in a Maybach GLS and I've been in a lot of Bentaygas. The GLS is not a Bentayga. Like, it's just not. It's not as solid when you drive it. It doesn't feel as well made. It's a great car, don't get me wrong, and it does feel a step above, say, like a BMW X7. It does feel a step above that, but you're very conscious that you're in essentially a nicer GLS than you are like something that's actually Bentayga level. Me personally, at least, that's how I feel about it. I just feel like I'm in a better appointed GLS. And honestly, I'd rather have a GLS 63. I think they're more fun to drive. The GLS 63 is very nice on its own. You've got like all the same features, maybe minus the new calf massaging and stuff like that. In a regular GLS 63, you can still get the heated and cooled cup holders, the heated, ventilated massaging seats, heads-up display, the nice pano sunroof with the opening section, big rear seats. You can still get a third row in a GLS 63, which someone who wants an SUV that size probably wants. This car kind of reminds me of the Bentayga extended wheelbase, which also wasn't super popular, and I never really understood why they did it. Because now this car is even less usable if you can only have 2 passengers in the back. I don't get why you wouldn't just be buying the Maybach S-Class if you wanted to get driven around in the back of the car. So that's kind of a strange move to me. Otherwise, it's really just, you know, they facelifted the GLS recently and the GLS 63, and now they're facelifting the GLS 680. I don't think there's too much more to it to read into than that. Does this make it like a better Bentayga competitor? Not really. I still don't think it's on that level. It's a very nice car, don't get me wrong. I'd rather have a Maybach GLS than, say, an Alpina XB7 from BMW. I just like the Maybach better. I feel like the Alpina makes an X7 worse in a lot of ways, whereas at least the Maybach, it does go slightly more luxurious than the regular GLS. I will touch on that engine quickly. I do think it's interesting they stick with the V8 in the Maybach, because I think putting the V12 in it would allow it to punch a little higher, closer to the Bentayga and Cullinan level, because the Cullinan does still have a V12. Bentayga is just an 8-cylinder now, and that's going to be, I believe, becoming an 8 hybrid pretty soon here. So I think if they put a V12 in the Maybach, it could punch a little higher. These things depreciate heavily and quickly, so clearly people agree kind of or catch on to the fact that this is just like a slightly nicer GLS. You know, a regular GLS 580 is like 110 grand. This Maybach thing's almost double the price for what is essentially some additional leather, a slightly different tune to the engine, but not necessarily any more power than, say, the 63 variant, and a couple features that you can only get on the Maybach, but they're all just aesthetic, basically. So there's a reason they depreciate so heavy. If I was in the market for one of these personally, I'd be buying like a 2 or 3 year old one. I would not be buying this new one because it's going to lose half the value instantly. And this is coming from somebody who likes Mercedes. I just don't understand where they're trying to position this car in the market right now. The Bentayga is just a step above. The Cullinan's a step above. Even an Aston Martin DBX is a way more fun car to drive than a Maybach GLS will ever be. Cool car. I don't get why you wouldn't just buy the Maybach sedan instead. I am happy to see this V8 engine being used. They're saying it's a whole new engine, but I can't imagine that it's not just the new flat plane crank engine they just developed. It's going into every other car. The articles I've read so far don't actually specifically say that it's the M177 Evo, but maybe nobody's just gotten around to publishing anything about it yet. It's got to be. It makes the same 603 horsepower that the GLS 63 makes. That new flat plane crank is great. It's going to be going into a lot of the cars. They've been working on the sound to try to make it sound as good as the AMGs we've had since like 2015. It's harder to make a flat plane crank engine sound good, but apparently they've worked really hard on getting that lower end sound to sound more throaty like a cross plane crank V8 traditionally does. And Mercedes does that sound better than anybody. So hopefully they can achieve what they're saying. We haven't really seen a lot of these cars, like in the US yet at least, what they sound like. So hopefully we'll start to get some over here pretty soon. Get an idea for it, because when the OPF filters went into some of the cars in like 2022 in the US, you did notice that they were a bit quieter. I mean, for the Maybach, they want it to be quiet, so this engine's actually a perfect fit for that, if anything. But unlike the GLS 63, it might be hindered a little bit. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this car. I'd be happy to answer any of them for you and find out any answers. There's not a ton to say about it, other than it's basically a refresh version of the GLS Maybach that we've had the last, 6 years, 6 or 7, If you've had a Maybach GLS for a while and you want a new one, it seems like a great car. There's no reason not to get it, really, other than you're just going to lose a ton of money. But people buying these new probably don't care too much about that anyways. And I would imagine the car still bounces, so if that's why you want the car, you should be good to go. Make sure before you buy it, I guess. But that's going to do it for this Exotic Anonymous video. I'm making this video late at night. I'm going to get it out first thing tomorrow morning for you guys. So please like this for me. I put a lot of effort into these videos, and please subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around, and I will see you in the next Exotic Anonymous video.